Okay. Good morning. What a night I had. Wow. Wow. They want me to say that they want me to say something that doesn't sound very nice, okay, on this broadcast. I'm allowed to tickle myself. I'll say it that way. I'm talking to my uncles right now about it. How should I say this? All right. I have no idea how I'm going to talk about what happened. Um but I'll start off with the funny one. Y'all trying to get me to turn back into 11. And I think I did mention that, but y'all like really fixating on it for some reason. You're fixating on me turning back into an 11-year-old girl. And I guess we're going to call me L, because that's also short for Alyssa. So, isn't that her name in the TV show? It's L, but it's actually 11. Pretty sure she's 11 in one of the broadcasts. You know what I mean? I know she starts off a lot smaller, just like I did. I started off very, very small. All right, and y'all are fixing to get me those memories back. Um, to like, sort of like know the complete story, to know the accurate story and stuff like that. I told y'all when I get abducted with my dad, what happens? It's a space activator time. Um, it's a little different than Stranger Things, and I'm just being honest, right? I'm just being honest. I know that story is based on me, but I think y'all want like more evidence that that happened. That a lot of that is biblically accurate, and because of that, I might have to actually turn into an 11-year-old girl again, um, and be with my two bros, Ron and Alex, or Greg and Steve. Greg and Steve. I don't know. I grew up with a Greg for sure. Greg looks a lot like Alex. They look very identical. When he was one of the friends that was coming through the other day in Alex's broadcast, they were looking like identical twins, and they do look alike. I don't think I grew up with anybody that looks like Ron, to be honest. So he must have been deleted from Burlington Township. I don't think I grew up with anyone that looked like Ryan. Except, well, like my little brother um is the Ryan of the family, Adam, and Mike would be the Alex of the family. So it correlates that way, but because I was trying to think, I got Greg that I grew up with that was a lot like Alex. He was very nice to me, always very, very nice to me. Um, but I'm trying to think if there was a Ryan that I grew up with, but I don't remember a Ron. Maybe Ron. Ron maybe is the closest one to him, but that's Mr. Ron. Ron and Ron. Okay, forgive my accent, y'all, but I guess Ron. But it's not like biblically accurate, is what I'm trying to say. He's just the closest one that I can think of, and I think my friends are trying to think with me. Who would it be? Ron is also a very, very nice man. Okay, so they're both very, very nice boys that I grew up with. Ron and Greg were very, very nice. Kelly, that I grew up with, he was like my best friend, so he's a little bit less nice. You know what I mean? Always when you're best friends, you're a little bit less nice. Kelly lived in walking distance from me. Okay, Kelly lived right up the street from me. He lived in walking distance. So oh, and Brett, maybe Brett, but Brett, I guess Brett could be Ryan for the Burlington Township type. But we did he wasn't here when we were little. He was in city, I think. He was in city. We have two schools out here, township and city. We went to township, and I think Brett went to city uh, during those years. Brett didn't come here until we were. I don't remember, but when Brett moved to township, but it was later in life. I want to say when we were teenagers, but I don't really remember, to be honest. Brett was also very, very nice to me. Probably because he didn't spend kindergarten with me like Kelly did. Kelly was never that mean, but just a little bit mean. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How are you going to treat the girl that you grew up with? It's in walking distance. So you go over to their house after school at the back, and you come around here to my bedroom. You start throwing rocks at the bedroom because I always had to have a nap after school because I'm a lightweight. I have to sleep a lot. I always have to nap after school. Kelly would come over, throw rocks in my window. Get up. Come outside and play, you bitch. No, I'm kidding. He would never be like that, but he'd be like, come on, Lace, come outside and play. Okay, Kelly. I mean, how are you going to treat that girl? You know what I mean? You're going to treat that girl like a sister, more likely. Get up. You know what I mean? I'm joking. Kids ain't like that, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, that was Mr. Kelly. Um, yeah, Kelly and Brett used to come over after school, and not they wouldn't knock on the door usually. They'd throw rocks at my window. Are you there? Come outside. I got a tree house that I made for you, and I need you to see it right now, Missy. Okay, there's lots of playing in the woods and stuff like that, but they didn't come around. They didn't come around when they were doing the dangerous stuff, like when they're on their four wheelers and stuff like that. They would never let me do their four wheelers with them for some reason. I was kind of like, oh, we're doing the four wheelers today, Liz. You can't come. Like, why? Sometimes I could come and I could watch, but I was never allowed to partake with them for some reason. I was always like held like a little baby by my friends as well. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit of my childhood for y'all. Um, y'all asking if we had a black friend like fucking Stranger Things. Y'all are so crazy. I swear to God. Yeah, we had. I already told y'all we had a lot of black people. This neighborhood was mainly white. Okay, it's not mainly white now. Now it's a lot more mixed, but um in this neighborhood it was mainly a white neighborhood, okay? And then we had y'all are crazy, man. I hear y'all what you want me to say. Y'all are crazy, okay? Then we had the black people. We called them black people, okay? We didn't call. I hear what y'all want me to say, and that doesn't ring right with my soul, okay? But I do hear y'all, and y'all probably hear it on the airwaves as well, okay? Then we had, and that one was it's still Burlington Township, but it's far away where the black people live. It's closer to the schools. Okay, it's called Lagorce. It's called Lagorce. Okay, so I had to get my dad to drive me to Lagorce if I wanted to hang out over there. Okay, and it was still Burlington Township. It's still the same town, but it's not in walking distance. So all I had in my town in walking distance was Brett and Kelly, and sometimes Matt if Matt wanted to join us, but because Matt lived across the freeway or the highway, whatever it's called. So he was semi in our neighborhood, and Liz was over there too. Okay, and sometimes that's where we would go and hang out for Halloween. Usually, sometimes we'd hang out at Halloween here at Kelly's, but sometimes we'd go over to Matt and Liz's for Halloween. So it was sort of still in this general area. But if y'all want to go to Lagorce, you got to get Daddy to take you in your car. Okay, so that's how it works. I think we did one Lagorce at sorry, we did one Halloween at Lagorce. Okay, there we have Rachel. Didn't Ron say we need a Rachel? We have a Rachel. We grew up with a Rachel. That's where Rachel lived. And she'd probably saying that. Oh wait, I'm a Rachel. Ron said we need a Rachel. Yeah, okay. So we have a Rachel. We liked Rachel. We liked our Rachel. All right. So Rachel was biracial. They're saying we all got along really, really well. Really, really well. Okay. We got along very, very well. We're playing vertit vertat in some households, I guess, today. And we're playing very vertitious. I keep hearing y'all saying that. We're very vertitious and we're very vertat today, Liz. So that's in Burlington. A lot of us are feeling, they're saying under the weather today. Because they're like, let's just take all the words. They're feeling under the weather today. That's my Burlington Township crew that I grew up with. That's my homies, okay? I'm looking at my old best friend. She's saying, listen, I'm kind of straddling a fence here, and don't look at me like that, Liz. Aaliyah and I have no idea what her name is. No idea. Do we, Michelle? We got no clue. We got no clue what your name is, girl. Okay, y'all. Have y'all ever played a game with me before or not? I think they've played many games with me. The crew that I grew up with. That's what I'm trying to say. Didn't I said it in the beginning of this broadcast, okay, but you know what I mean? We like our crew tight, okay? Y'all gotta fit in with us to be a member of our crew and not the other way around. We do not need to fit in with you to be a member of our crew, new member, okay? So get it through your head right now and get it straight right now. Don't take as long as Mr. Alex did. He probably wants me to yell at him. So he doesn't get too very for tat, okay? All right. Same with Greg, probably. Okay. So, okay. So how y'all holding up? Well, I'm trying to pay these bills and I'm barely making it. I'm listening in. That's where I was last year, y'all. It was fucking stupid. I said, why the fuck am I paying an electric bill when it's my electricity? What the fuck's a credit score when y'all know who the real God is? When y'all worshiping the real God? I know worshiping the real God is like weird. It's still kind of weird, but you know what I mean? We got to try to save 4D as much as we can. Um but it is kind of like a weird thing. Like, oh, this got to be worshipped now. I'm feeling it in my bones. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all knew I was the savior when I walked into your house fully grown. But yeah, you know what I mean. That's probably something that Ron said. That's probably something I'd want to do. I'd probably want to go to a church of list. Okay, see, you know what I mean. See what I mean? It's fine for like, it's like a nice thing, but it depends on who I'm talking to. It depends on who I'm talking to. Yeah, it's like a nice protective thing. Like I know I'm in the right. I know I'm going to the right place if I'm going to the church of lists. They're not letting me concentrate. My friends from Burlington Township right now. They're laughing about different things that happened during Spirit Week. It's called Spirit Week. Wow, what do you know? Why is it called Spirit Week, Burlington Township? What's the spirit? What's the spirit we're worshiping, Burlington Township, if it's called Spirit Week? What spirit is it? Let's start there. Burlington Township, Miss Burlington Township, okay? Miss Kevin Federline crew. That's rude. That's rude. Okay, I have a lot of very nice people. I already told y'all I have a lot of nice people here in Burlington that are my friends. I should be allowed to hang out with them and call them Kevin Federline. Give me a break. That's rude, y'all. See, there you go. That's Kelly. Kelly's like, stay calm, Liz. Okay. I'm gonna go change the CD for music, Brett. I gotta say it every time, don't I? There's this one, I think I said that line maybe once. I hope this saves. I'm pretty sure I have tons of space on my computer. This one time we went snowboarding. We went snowboarding. It was during college time. Snowboarding with Kelly. Was Kelly there? Brett was there. Brett was certainly there. My best friend Dawn. It was sort of an amalgamation of faith snowboarding trip. I guess Joe was probably there, Mr. Joe Santucci, because he's a snowboarder. But I don't think we were dating then, because I slept in a pull-out bed with my best friend Dawn. Right? Remember, like college, you have sleepovers and stuff like that. That's all I remember, but it was like 12 of us. It was like a lot of us. Oh, was Melissa there too? I think Melissa was probably there. That's my college friend. It was probably Melissa, Dawn, me. I remember Brett, probably Joe, maybe Berto, Roberto. We call him Berto. Um, and then then everybody else kind of brought like their college people too, and I don't remember their names. So, yeah, it was like a college camping trip basically. So we went snowboarding I think for like 2 days, and I remember I see I don't really smoke pot, okay, and I only smoked pot. I'll tell y'all the truth. I only smoked pot when I was 16 years old. Okay, I only smoked pot when I was 16 years old with a good friend of mine from high school. And we were really into smoking pot after school for some reason. And we I think they were called gravity bongs back in the day. I could smoke pot like totally fine. Like I can't really. I still to this day I still can't smoke pot to anymore. It gives me a massive anxiety and like heart palpitations and stuff like that. So there's probably a code in there that I'm missing because I used to be able to smoke pot like nobody else. So we would smoke pot after school like a normal 16-year-old would do, okay? And and we would do a gravity bong. I think they're called a gravity bong where you cut the bottom off of I don't know if it's legal in New Jersey or not. Let me look it up. God damn it. Cuz I'm talking like California speak. It's legal in California, okay? So anyway, we would hit the bong whatever after fucking high school. And yeah, I had no problem smoking it in high school and then something happened when I went to college and I was dating Martine from my art school in California and something happened and I couldn't smoke pot anymore. All of a sudden it just changed. And I was like, I can't smoke pot anymore. And I would get like how some people smoke pot and they get panic attacks. That's how I turned out to be. I don't know. And then ever since then, so I just don't touch this stuff. There's once in a while where people are like, you should try it again. Just try it again, Alyssa. Okay, just try it again. I tried again. I told y'all there was one time I did try it again in my 30s, and I ended up staring. I had a chimney. What is that called? A freaking fireplace. I had a fireplace in my house, and the TV was on top of the fireplace. And I smoked some pot after work because my friends were like, "Can you try to smoke weed again, Liz? Like, maybe you don't need to drink anymore. Maybe you can just smoke weed." And I was like, "Oh, fine, I'll try it again." So I did, and I ended up staring at my freaking fireplace for like 3 hours. Like, just no movement at all, just staring at my fire. The TV was on, it was up there, and my eyes went down to the fireplace, and I just stared at the fireplace for 3 hours, and I was like, never again. Never again. I ain't smoking no weed. It don't work for me. This the zombifies me, okay? It just doesn't work for me, okay? Maybe there's a link there to the zombie level in my video game. This is a video game, and there is a level where zombies do exist. Okay, y'all. This is a video game. There is aliens. Aliens exist. Aliens, zombies, demons, all the above. It all exists. And it's all real. So anyway, we went camping. We drank after we went snowboarding. Like a normal thing. And one of Brett's friends started walking around in the middle of the night because we're all, wasted. We'll start walking around in the middle of the night, scared me and Dawn, woke me and Dawn up. We're staring at each other like, oh my God, is he gonna, you know what I mean? There's a drunk guy walking around the house. It scares the two college ladies laying on the bed, right? You already know what I'm saying without saying it. Me and Dawn are staring at each other like, oh God. So he goes over to the CD player, and Brett hears him. Brett was like our protector. He is a lot like Adam, actually. So Brett was probably closest to Mr. Ryan, I guess. Brett hears it, the protector of the household, because I'm probably calling to Brett. I think we actually did call to Brett out loud. I think we used our mouth and we're like, Brett, your friend is walking around the house. And Brett's like, whatever that guy's name is. He's calling to him. I can't. Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Something like that. And he goes, and he's in a drunken stupor, and he goes, I'm changing the CD for music. It's in the middle of the night. It's like 3, 4 a.m. We're all dead asleep. And he said, I'm changing the CD for music in his drunken stupor. And we started laughing so hard. And look, it's like how many years later, and I'm saying I'm changing the CD for music. Wait, I forgot. I forgot. What he was actually doing was peeing on the floor. I forgot. I deleted that scene in my mind because they're like, don't you remember what he said? I deleted that scene in my mind because it was too traumatizing. He was peeing on the floor. Anyway, I really don't remember that guy's name, so it's not Dave. I don't remember that guy's name. Steve. I don't know what his name was. I really don't. It was Calvin. It was Brian. His name was Brian. I really don't know what his name is, because if y'all named her Dave out there, you're like, you're embarrassing me, and I really don't know what his name was. Okay, it's probably Brian or something. All right, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, he's out there right now saying I haven't lived that moment down to this day. Because there you go, I'm just saying it right now. I'm changing the CD for music. That's called a happy Christmas, okay, y'all? That's a happy Christmas, okay? Full of ups and downs and twists and turns that the whole family can enjoy, okay? All right. Okay. Yeah, y'all canceled my Facebook, so I can't look at my friends in the face anymore, but they're still in the room. So, all right. Yeah, no, it's bad. It's bad, and I'm getting tortured right now. I'm getting tortured right now, guys. It's still going on. It went on all last night, and I guess it was me. So it's a lot of y'all that were feeling this superficial pain with me all night long. Okay, because that's what I heard last night, that it was me. Okay. So okay, I wanted to say the funny. Okay, so anyway, that what was it talking about? All the people that I grew up with. I already forget why. I already forget the whole fucking conversation that I just did. Talk about very vertitious. This is a mind wiping. We're mind wiping as we go because there's people listening in that shouldn't be listening in. So they're mind wiping those people that are listening in but shouldn't be listening in to these conversations. Okay. Um. So that's fine when y'all lose your thoughts. Okay, and you're me. It's fine when y'all lose the fucking thoughts. I don't worry about it. When, like last night when I said this, when I said this chapter is closed. Remember I said that, and y'all are, and some of y'all stupid people are like, because it's not for Liz. It's not for Liz. Okay, like we heard y'all. Like I already told y'all, they say it to the one molecule and they send it out. That's exactly how it works. Okay. Y'all ain't taking my memories, and I'm allowed to let some memories wipe because it's wiping it from. It can bifurcate, and it can wipe out different memories from different people that aren't included in our group because of um how they've treated me over my lifetime. Okay, so I don't worry about that stuff. Um, so last night I said so this was sort of like in a vision. So I woke up in the middle of the night with this zapping feeling in my left leg on my ankle, and I'm still feeling it, but it's not that bad. But it was like really really bad in the beginning. It was like super zap on my ankle, like a super zap, like a Palladian zap, and I was like, ow, ow, Palladians, And then it was like listening, overlapping like all of the people that were out of line with me all year, and they're obviously being warned because they get stuff like that. They get zapped or whatever from themselves because they're Palladians. Okay, their higher self is Palladian. That they are Palladians. They are um they are freaking. Why don't you let me just say it? They're freaking related to their Palladian self. Okay, so I was listening to like what they were saying, and it was like a woman, like a young mom, and she was getting zapped, and it was overlaying my energy, and she was like, "Ow, ow, mom, whatever you're saying, it's wrong. Ow, ow, mom, stop saying that. Whatever you're saying, it's wrong, mom. Whatever you're saying, it's wrong." And I was laughing because y'all can't get a hint. Y'all cannot get a hint. You know what I mean? Y'all cannot get a hint. Okay, and that you have daughters that are out of line. You have daughters that are out of line that are trying to tell you and trying to teach you, and you're still not listening. Okay, Whoopi Goldberg. All right, you got a daughter that's out of line, and she's trying to help you, and you're still not listening. All right. Um, that's what was happening last night. Then I had another vision where I said, "Dad, think of a number." And he said 5. And I jumped up from the table. And when I jumped up from the table, I said 5. I heard you. Or he said it 5 in his head. And I said, it's 5. I heard you. Okay. And it turned me into, oh, that's why I think, because I was talking about turning into 11. And that's why I started talking about um, my childhood crew that I grew up with when I was actually living. And then Ryan, Okay. All right. Are y'all going over it to try to remember it as we go? Y'all can't write it down, right? Because then that's evidence that y'all are listening in, so y'all can't write down the downloads, can y'all? You got to remember all of them. That's not going to make you go crazy. It's not going to make you go crazy at all. So anyway, I turned into an 11-year-old when I said, "It's 5. I heard you." Right. And then I looked at myself and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm 11." So it was me, Alyssa, what she looked like when she was 11 years old. And I'll show you a picture. I think I showed y'all before, but I'll show you again. I'm trying not to get lost in the pictures as I look at them. You know what I mean? I start to like look at them like, oh yes, my family. There's my family. I think it's in this picture book. Where is it? Lots of pictures of Peggy Carter. The downloads were on fire last night. Oh, here she is. Here's Miss 11. The real 11 from Stranger Things. Okay, there she is. There she is, y'all. That's what I turned into last night when I was like 5. Okay, this exact outfit. That exact hairdo and that exact outfit. That's who I turned into last night. Okay. Then I saw Ryan. I saw Ryan turn into his 11-year-old self. I saw Ryan turn into his 11-year-old self, okay? All right. I saw Ron turn into his 11-year-old self. You know what he looked like? He looked great. Is what he looked like. He looked very 80s, and he had, the shaggy brown hair, and he had the 80s visors on, and he had the big wings on his shirt with the what were they called, like the balloon pants with like a lot of different colors and stuff. That's what he looked like when he was living. I saw him appear out of nowhere, and then I saw ads appear out of nowhere, very 80s too, but he's an 80s baby because he's younger than us. And he said, "Wait up for me, guys," because he was a little baby. He was probably like 3. It was really funny. Okay. And I think Alex was there too, but I didn't get a visual of his outfit, unfortunately. Anyway, they came to the front door and they were 11 as well. And I was like, "I'm 11, guys." And they were like, "Where's your mom? Where's your mom? Like, where's this one? Right? Where's this one at? Where is she? She upstairs?" And I said, "She's gone. She's gone. Forget about her. It's me. It's me, guys. It's me. Okay. I turned into this. It's me. She doesn't exist anymore." And I was like, "Forget that old lady. Let's get out of here." I called myself an old lady. I was like, "Forget that old tattered up lady. She wears sweatpants all the time. Forget about her. I'm in my outfit now." You saw my outfit. It was very cute. All right, I'm in my outfit now, okay? And then we started giggling, and then we left this house. And then my dad was reading the paper, but, listening in, and he's like, "They must have a driver in the car," because they turned into 11-year-olds. And then we left. I don't know. I thought that was hilarious, a hilarious scene, but y'all were trying to get. And then Isabella was like, y'all, she's turning into her new mom, y'all. I hope y'all are ready for this, okay? Do 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 do. So sometimes I turn into all 3 of us, okay? Then that happens. Okay, we're authentic 80s kids, okay? We're authentic 80s kids, y'all. We ain't like y'all fake fucking Millie Bobby Brown. You're a fake 80s kid, okay? Way fake. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry. That was so funny. We turned to 11. Now turned into his 3-year-old self. I'm sorry. It was really funny. Okay. We were just so excited to be 11 again and together. We're like, we're 11. All right. Anyway, and then Isabel said, y'all getting her to turn into her new mom. And that's the, what is it called? The Demogorgon from the Upside Down, where it's like the big face and like the lots of black arms, like the big one that goes across the sky, and then she screams ah! Like that. That's who y'all are getting me to turn into. My That's my new mom. That's who y'all are getting me to turn into, and that you get that. That would be me and me as an 11-year-old, as a little girl, and me as Demogorgon. Okay. So anyway, because y'all are fixated on me being the girl from Stranger Things for some reason. Because I don't know why I'm so concentrated on it, so focused on. I heard Brandon. He said, I don't know. I'm just listening in. Y'all trying to get her to turn back into Elle to prove her point, right? That's what Brandon said the other day through me on this video. It'll probably turn into Brandon. Actually, Brandon, you know what I mean. Um, but uh, yeah, y'all are fixated on me like becoming Elle for some reason and like proving my point. Like even though y'all know that it is me, it's like y'all like want extra proof that it's me. And anyway, so that's the beginning of me turning into Elle for y'all. Okay. Um, there was so much that happened last night. I mean, that was when I was waking up and I was getting zapped or whatever. I couldn't fall back to sleep for a long time. I kept getting zapped in my ankle, and I was begging my fathers to help me. Like, please turn it off, turn it off, turn it off, and they wouldn't turn it off. And so I think my grandfather also has access to the space activator and has had to put me into the space activator a few times due to the amalgamation of faiths, satanic rituals. So you know what I mean. Me can be in the amalgamation of faith can be 1 and 2. All right. So I was at so in the actual dream when I actually did fall asleep later, and I slept till 11 today because I couldn't fall asleep because of the zapping. Um, and it was draining my the spinal fluid in my leg as well. And they were saying on one level is my IV, and they're tugging at my IV, and then at an upper level it's nebula, zapping my foot. That would be considered doll sister on the upper level, on the upper echelons of space. So nebula was torturing me in the upper echelons of space, and then downstairs there was demons or something trying to pull my IV out of my leg. It makes sense to us multidimensional people. If you need extra explaining, then maybe start doing your research and start Googling stuff online. Leave me alone about it. Okay, and so I eventually fell asleep, and I was at an amalgamation of Faith Mom's house party, and I think I was this age, and I was hanging out in like the pool and stuff. It was like a pool party, and I was hanging out with all these fancy people. Um, and I was like, they gave me like cereal tea, and I was super grateful for it. I was like, wow, thank you so much. Like, I was so grateful to be like at a rich person's house or at a rich person's party, and I was like extra grateful. And they gave me cereal to eat, and I was so grateful for the cereal that they gave me to eat and stuff. And then I snapped out of it, and I was like, why am I feeling grateful for just cereal? It's just like a normal food. Just because it's given to me by fancy people, I'm like extra grateful for it. Like I'm at a fancy house and I'm extra grateful for it. And yeah, so I snapped out of it. And there was also DJ at the party, and he was overweight, and I thought he was very good looking, so I was like very into that overweight DJ in the dream. And and there was also twin blonde girls fighting over Rice Krispie treats, and I was trying to calm them down about it in the dream too. But mainly it was like like snapping out of it, like, oh yeah, I'm at a fancy party, but I'm just eating regular food. Like, why am I so grateful to these fancy people when they're not really treating me that well? And I snapped out of it. That's basically the story. So I pushed the Atlanteans out of the Atlanteans, meaning the telepathy is very loud this year, as we've all experienced, and it's literally driving us crazy, is it not? Okay, and Colin was yelling at the amalgamation of faith moms. If you keep treating me like this, I'll turn the volume up very loudly for the next part as well. And he kept turning it up loudly and turning it back down last night, turning it up loudly and turning it back down last night, and it's like a warning. And that's sort of how I felt about this zapping going on in my foot. It kind of feels like an alarm is going off. That's what it feels like, because it's like zzz, zzz, zzz. It kind of feels like an alarm's going off on my foot. That correlates with everything that I'm saying. The alarm's going off. Like, if y'all don't stop now, the volume's going to go up for the next part as well. And that's why all the amalgamation of faith moms are like super very rotatious and super angry and going through all these space codes and stuff, because they're not accepting it, that this is actually happening, this is real. I mean, it's obviously real, and they're obviously being super super humiliated by it, by all the telepathy, and they're being super humiliated by it, but they know that it's real, and then they're going to be, even more humiliated by the next one, and they're being warned. And Brandon's going over this with me line by line. So is Chris. They are being warned. No, they hear you. They are being warned. No, they hear you. So they're taking me out of guilt by doing that. Like, that's what they're doing all year. Like, they definitely hear you, Liz. It's their choice. They're definitely being warned, and the volume's about to be turned up on the other one. And that's why some babies are the way they are. Some really good me's are the way that they are. They kind of go back and forth, and they kind of get angry because of their upbringing and being kind of used to this treatment. And at least it's in their DNA. If they were held sweetly all their life and it's starting to come out like it is with me, but it's still in their DNA. It's still in their muscle memory. Right? So I think that makes sense, and I don't need to explain that more. It's in their muscle memory, okay? I guess Fresh went over Claire's house. Didn't I say I had a baby that came over my house, like a little poltergeist baby? And Claire said that Fresh came over her house, and he looked at her and he said, it's subtle at first. I mean, Fresh is bilocating at your house. That ain't very subtle. You know what I mean? But it's subtle at first. And it is always subtle at first, and that's the warning. And then it obviously gets more and more obvious. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? I'm here on YouTube talking about this stuff out loud. That's never happened before this year. So that's a lot more obvious than last year. Okay, so yeah, if you got Fresh visiting y'all in y'all house and saying, it's subtle at first, like, y'all need to take that as a precaution. That's a precursor at your house. Okay, that's a precursor at your house. Mr. Fresh is at your house. Mr. Fresh is also overlaying some of the babies in my network. I want to say it's Tom's babies, and he's a very very sweet kid. And sometimes Fresh it's very cute and very sweet when they overlap. I said, "Is there a doggy?" I said to Fresh the other day, "Is there a doggy in the house? Is there a doggy in the house?" And then Fresh looked at me like this, like a little boy. He was looking at me like a little boy, and then I heard his telepathy, and he's like, "Is there a doggy in the house?" He's like, "Is there a doggy in the house? I don't know. I'll go check." Like that. Like he's like a little kid, and I'm like, because he's overlapping with a child. and he's like, I don't know if there's a doggy in the house. Let me go check. And I was like, no, Fresh. Because that's something that I say to Fresh all the time. Is there a doggy in the house? But a little child heard it. And then it went through, Fresh's nervous system. And he registered it like he was a little child. And it was very cute and sweet and funny. Okay. All right. That's enough for today.